Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Strixhaven draft here on the channel. If you're new here, my name is Nikolai, and in this video, I am going to go pick by pick and play by play through a Strixhaven draft on MTG Arena, talking through all of my thought processes so you can level up your game and improve at Limited. This video features some of the biggest fractals I have ever created, and it is a ton of fun, so you aren't going to want to miss it. And if you do enjoy it, remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more. Without further ado, let's get to the draft. Here we go, kicking off another Strixhaven draft, and we have a very powerful rare in Selfless Glyphweaver and a very powerful Mystical Archive in Electrolyze. So two powerful cards to potentially start the draft off with. The Selfless Glyphweaver is just a really nice way to protect your creatures from removal, and Deadly Vanity, if you do ever cast it, is just a game winner, so it works better in a more controlling Silverquill shell, which maybe isn't exactly what Silverquill is best at. And then Electrolyze just does a lot of work. There's a decent amount of X1s running around, which means 1 toughness creatures. And even just killing a 2 toughness creature and drawing a card is quite good. Other than that, Frost Trickster is good. Mortality Spear is good, but it does put me into Witherbloom, which is my least favorite college in this set. Fortifying Draft, also a good combat trick. I think it's between these two cards, and I think I'm going to take the Selfless Glyphweaver, because Deadly Vanity can just be literally game over, and also it's more flexible because I can just play Selfless Glyphweaver in a Lorehold deck if I want to. So that was the logic behind that pick. I think both cards are powerful, but the power of Deadly Vanity is just going to win me the game single-handedly, whereas Electrolyze is just going to be solid all around, and also Selfless Glyphweaver is more flexible. Now there's a closing statement to potentially follow it up with. There's Urza's Rage, which is like a worse version of Heated Debate generally. Going face is a little bit of upside, but not being able to kill X4s is downside for sure. I do like Closing Statement a lot, though. This card is very powerful. Urza's Rage might be the second pick out of the pack, though. Elemental Summoning is also decent. If I had taken Electrolyze, I would probably follow it up with Urza's Rage or Elemental Summoning. Just lock up my copy of that. But Closing Statement's good. And I don't see a reason to abandon Silverquill just yet. If it seems that Silverquill's not open, then we'll go from there. But only the rare is missing out of this pack, and Closing Statement is better than a decent number of rares. So we'll just have to see what seems open after this start. Okay, pick 3. There is a Divide by 0. That card is quite good. It just learns, does everything you want to do. It's not particularly easy to splash it in a white-black deck. Those Esper is not really supported in this set. There is a Guiding Voice. Pilgrim of the Ages could go in a more controlling black-white deck. But I want to be more assertive if possible, so the Deadly Vanity part of this is more of just a backup plan. Divide by 0 is just so good that it's worth taking here, I think, potentially abandoning my first 2 picks. There is a Guiding Voice, which I do like, but I'll just see if blue's open. Maybe end up in a Quandrix or a Prismari deck. Abundant Harvest is good, works well with this Divide by 0. Pop Quiz is also a reasonable card. The white-black cards aren't really flowing. I'm not a huge fan of the Shield Mage. It's just very expensive. You can't really play that many 5-drops. I could see taking Pop Quiz. I could see taking Abundant Harvest. I think Pop Quiz is inherently more powerful than Abundant Harvest, just in terms of it actually being a 2-for-1. Though this one is obviously more efficient and can trigger some of your cards. I don't think I want to take the Annihilation just yet. There's not really a ton of cards for the black-white version of the deck, so I could just keep taking blue cards for the potential blue version, so that's what I will do. And now we get a Quandrix Pledge Mage. I'm a huge fan of this card. It often seems like it wins me the game single-handedly. And it's looking like blue-red is potentially open. We're seeing Opt. Start from scratch is great. Curate is fine. Tome Shredder is solid. But I'm taking the Pledge Mage. And now Negate. Love Negate in this set. It always seems to do good work for me. So we just have a very strong blue start. The Glyphweaver ended up not working out as a pick, but I couldn't have known that blue was going to seem more open than white-black when I started off. And I have enjoyed playing white-black decks. There's a 2-drop. So Pop Quiz, Pillar Drop Warden. I kind of have to figure out whether I'm a more aggressive version of a blue deck or what defense. I'm just going to take the Pop Quiz because it keeps me... I guess I could take Witherbloom Pledge Mage. It's a very good card in the blue-green decks as a top-end card. And I already have a Pop Quiz and a Divide by Zero without any lessons yet. And just getting a nice top-end card is nice. Though maybe blue-red is open and I just want as many Pop Quizzes as I can get. I'm just going to take the 5-drop. And now Serpentine Curve, really powerful effect. There is Hunt for Specimens. There is a black-white deck that I've heard rumors of. And that could be a deck that I play Deadly Vanity in. I could be playing, but I can't I guess if I played blue-black, then I could play Deadly Vanity. And I would just go Hunt for Specimens and just play a blue-black deck. But I think I'm just going to stick to more established archetypes and take the Serpentine Curve here. It looks very good in this particular deck right now. Got the Frost Trickster back. I could also just take the Introduction to Prophecy. Unfortunately, Soft couldn't search for Deadly Vanity. Trickster is just a fine tempo play. Helps you stay in the game. This lesson is solid, though. It works well with the Divide by Zero and Pop Quiz. I am looking for 2-drops. Ooh, nice. Elemental Summoning is a good pickup. And now I'll take a red card. I could still be an Is It deck. I mean, Prismari. So far, all we know is that we're playing blue. And these are all cards that can make the deck easily. Abundant Harvest coming around pretty late. Tome Shredder. I think I would rather be a... I'm not hoping not to play this card. I would rather be a blue-green deck, I think. And we get a very strong uncommon in the Cultivator. There's also just a Cultivate. This card's very good, but nowhere near my color, because I can't play this as a splash in my heavy blue deck. I just like Cultivator a lot. And that lets me play my Abundant Harvest and my Pledge Mage. So we'll just go for that. Even though we got a last pick Blood Age Historian. We'll just take the Cultivator. I mean, the other options here are just not great. Like Arcane Subtraction or whatever. Now, I am a pretty decently big fan of Leyline Invocation these days. Cram Session's also a card that people are relatively high on. Just buys you some time in the 2-drop slot. And is a lesson. I mean, a learn card. Maybe I should experiment with that card. I have found myself wanting Leyline Invocations and not being able to wheel them. Maybe this is my chance to try out the Cram Session lifestyle, though. I'm going to take the... My body's telling me to take Cram Session. I am being told by my soul. Now I'll just take a Serpentine Curve over the summoning. I already have one summoning. I'm hoping to get some more flexible lessons over time, but Serpentine Curve should be great in this deck. I already have 6 cards that trigger it, and I can probably get some Curates and stuff. And if I can get a good enough Serpentine Curve, then I don't really need the... what's it called? Leyline Invocation. I also am lacking 2-drops, which is another reason why I would want the Cram Session. And it works well with the Pledge Mage. Decisive Denial versus Scurrid Colony versus Adventurous Impulse. I think I'm just going to take the Denial. I don't really have any interaction in terms of removal. Scurrid Colony is great. One of my favorite 2-drops in the set, just because it always seems like it scales up quite nicely, but I think the interaction is important. It's another counterspell type card as well, like to go with the Negate. So we'll just try that. Wow, Growth Spiral.
There's also just Vine Glimmer Snarl. Growth Spiral was a card that I was never a huge fan of when it was in Ravnica Allegiance. I always felt like the card didn't really work properly, but it does fit with my kind of Serpentine Curve theme. I might just want to take the land, though. I do have some decently... I have, like, a lot of blue cards. I got green. Growth Spiral could be a decent ramp card, and it also fuels my Serpentine Curves. I guess I'll try it. I also love this artwork, so getting to play with that's nice. Okay, now I'll take the Scurrid Colony. Getting a good 2-drop is pretty nice here. My first 2-drop creature. I'm pretty light on creatures right now, but I do have these Serpentine Curves that I'm trying to maximize. Splashing Masterpiece could be okay. I also could just take Introduction to Prophecy. I don't really have the tools to splash. I don't really want to splash until I have an Environmental Sciences, and the odds of getting one are pretty low because I'd have to get one early pack 3 probably. I could also just take a Frost Trickster. Frost Trickster is a decent defensive body. It locks up a card for a turn when you're on defense with it. This card makes my Cram Session and my Pop Quiz and my Divide by Zero a little bit better. And I'm not really a Frost Trickster deck per se, so I don't think I'm going to prioritize it. I'm just going to get a lesson here. Make sure my Learn package is pretty good. I already have 3 Learn cards, so the more lessons I get, the better. And now there's another Serpentine Curve. There's a Snow Day, which is a good card, but it is expensive, and I'm trying to maximize Serpentine Curve already, so the more copies of that I get, the better. Just makes it easier to justify taking cards like Curate early and stuff like that. Wow, nice Arcane Subtraction. There's also a Eureka Moment, which is a card I love, but I think getting a cheap interaction kind of Learn card is going to be really nice. Helps me fuel the Serpentine Curves that I have. And I already have a lot of 4-drops. Hopefully not to play this Reject, but I'll take it. Not going to play this, but I'll take it anyway. I don't want to send any of these cards down the line, but I'm fine sending these other colors. I'm just basically telling people no on blue. So I'm pretty happy with where this deck is right now. The fact that we wield the Eureka Moment is a good sign for Quandrix. We have a lot of playables going into pack 3, so we can really be aggressively taking lessons. Wow, that's a great card. Quandrix Apprentice works perfectly with this theme of fueling Serpentine Curves. I don't think I'm going to get Fractal Summoning back, but I would love a Fractal Summoning. And this card is the best card in the pack by a lot, and then Fractal Summoning is the second best card in the pack by a lot, just to fill out my lesson board. Currently I have Summoning and Intro to Prophecy as my only lessons. But easy Quandrix Apprentice. My deck is filled with cards that it works well with. Wow, and then I get past Archmage Emeritus, which I'm already building to maximize thanks to my Serpentine Curves that I already have. I have 11 non-creatures here. After the Archmage, then I would probably take the Pledge Mage and then the Serpentine Curve. Igneous Inspiration getting past. Wow, this pack is insane. Archmage is just great. Okay, so the lesson card is missing from this pack. I'll just take a Leyline Invocation. Not going to play the Vortex. I'm not planning on really splashing that type of card. So overall, the deck is looking great. We have 12 non-creatures split among instants and sorceries, 7 creatures. All the cards in the deck are very good. At least I'm happy playing them. The Frost Trickster's not perfectly on theme, but everything else is working quite nicely towards a cohesive game plan. We have 2 lessons for our 3 Learn cards. 4 Learn cards, so I'd like to get 1 or 2 more lessons. Wow, Sciences, perfect. That just means I'm not going to be missing land drops early. Works well with Cram Session, can gain me some life in a pinch. Perfect pickup. And I get the Expanded Anatomy. This is excellent. I could also take Elemental Masterpiece, but I don't think I need top end because I already have Leyline and 3 Serpentine Curves to just make massive creatures. And getting another good lesson is good. I'm going to take Strategic Planning. I do think the Implementer's fine, but strategic planning works so well with serpentine curves, just binning my cards, that I think it's worth taking. Also works out well finding me my Archmage. Works with Quandrix Apprentice. I have some synergies. I could take the campus and then try to splash red, but I'm just going to take the planning. Charge through is decent as just a cantrip that can make my Fractals trampling. I like Snow Day. I have a lot of 2-drops. I have 2 2-drop creatures, Strategic Planning, Cram Session, Growth Spiral. What wield? I'll take the Assistant maybe. That card's okay. I might not play it though. I could see myself playing 18 lands here. I really want to hit lands, but I could also just see myself playing 17 and then just jamming like one of these random cards that I have, like a Burrog Befuddler, into the deck. I only really need one more playable. Just take the uncommon, build up the collection, as they say. Oh, I could also just play the Biblioplex Assistant. That's true. Yeah, I think I will play Biblioplex Assistant. Okay. So, this is all the cards I have in the deck right now. I don't really want Solve the Equation. I think you really want that card unless you have Approach at the second side in the deck. I'm going to play this instead of an Island, because I just want to have some access to Scry in the late game, and having 1 tap land is not a huge cost, I don't think. And I will just play the Biblioplex Assistant. Lets me buy back some of my good cards. It's just better than the Aerialist. I could see myself wanting the Burrog Befuddler more, but I have a lot of things to do on turn 2. So we're going to run it like this, I think. I think this is a good deck. I'm very excited to see how it plays out. Probably my most Serpentine Curve deck yet. I also have this to help make sure I hit lands. There's nothing I have that's worth splashing, but I think this is going to be a good build. I don't really want the Aerialist. The Biblioplex Assistant can just find me like a lot of different things in different spots, so should be a good deck. Lots of instants and sorceries, 15 of them. That's awesome. And I will see you folks in the matches.
Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my work at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those who support at the credits level. Their support really does help me continue producing high quality content on a consistent basis, and for that I am truly grateful. If you feel like my work has provided you with a couple dollars worth of value and you would like to give back and support, then the Patreon is the best way to do so. In exchange, you not only get to help me continue making videos, but also gain access to things like card tier lists, exclusive Patreon polls being put in the credits, and even one-on-one coaching at the higher levels. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, be sure to check it out at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. And without further ado, let's get to the matches.
Welcome to round 1. On the draw, we will keep this hand. We just need 1 land to hit our Divide by 0, which can then get Environmental Sciences. And we have our Emeritus Archmage and stuff. Okay, we hit a land. Perfect. I could even lead with the Quandrix Pledge Mage. Unwilling Ingredient and Cram Session don't typically go in the same deck, I will say. Now that I know I'm going to hit my 4th land, I'm going to do this because then I can play, if I draw a forest, I can go Quandrix Cultivator into Abundant Harvest. Or I could wait until I have a Emeritus down to play the Abundant Harvest, get some immediate value. Sure. I want to debate that out anyway because I have this Archmage to go to play. I'm just going to go for it. They might not have 2 Lash of Malice. They don't look like they have many lands anyway. They could have a Mage Duel, I guess. That blows me out a little bit. I'm going for the greedier line of hoping they don't have anything to interact with it. So they don't have Mage Duel. If they just play this thing, I'm probably just going to win the game. So they couldn't deal with it that turn. I can use Biblioplex Assistant to get back Divide by 0, which is pretty good. I really wanted to hit a land drop there. But alas. Next turn I can play this Cultivator. I can also double block this Ingredient now. And then this Invocation is going to be pretty big when I do play it. And I'm probably going to get Divide by 0 back with my Biblioplex Assistant. I have enough cards in hand that I don't really care if they have a combat trick. Sure. It slows them down a bit. They're not playing one of these guys. Get a forest. Play my tap land and hold up negate, I think. I have an 8/8 coming down in the near future. I will counter Inkling Summoning. They're probably going to play this first, though. No, cram session, come back. So I can go... I guess Biblioplex Assistant, I can't use Pop Quiz to then draw the card. This is tough. I need to find my copy of Decisive Denial. I do want to make sure I can stack the deck myself. If they go for a chump block, I will charge through. No! That's the opposite of what I wanted to accomplish. Okay, picking non-land for sure. That's big. That's a huge draw. I've got a lot of lands here. My 8/8 should be able to pressure them enough to win the game, though. Even if they do this and activate 3 turns, I'll be able to get my 2/1 to block. So I should be okay. And my graveyard has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in it. That will make my Serpentine Curve 6 6s. And then Pop Quiz will make it 7 7s. And I am starting to get closer to my cram session. I feel like I haven't been getting to... That could be a yikes. This thing will counteract it. Jeez Louise, just stop drawing lands naturally, deck. I'll trade my... So one of my cards in this deck is Decisive Denial. So I'm going to take the chance of drawing it here. So I lose a life, but I also gain a life. So there's Decisive Denial. Jeez Louise, I can't believe how many lands I've drawn considering the contents of my deck. I literally just like draw every land. It's insane. So I'm going to kill the 3/4, hit them for 8. Do I want to get this thing back or get just Intro to Prophecy? Probably Prophecy. Ooh, that's a good one to draw. It'd be nice if Arena let me actually stack my deck. I think it says any order, right? Yeah. So I would be able to stack my deck technically here because I have only 1 land left. I could scry this to the bottom, draw a Growth Spiral, No, and then I can't draw into my Frost Trickster. This card is screwing me up. I'll just get my 2/2. Just like the number of raw lands I've drawn is insane, comparatively speaking. So I can scry this to the bottom and then draw Frost Trickster to tap one of their blockers. They have to chump here with something. This thing makes sense as a chump. Okay, so they're going to gain the life, and they're going to sacrifice it to learn. Okay. So I can scry this to the bottom, top deck Snow Day. I think I'm just going to put Divide by 0 on top. That card seems good. I could have scryed first, so that then I don't have to scry the Growth Spiral to the bottom. If they enter to Annihilation me, though, I get to do that anyway. Because they could enter to Annihilation, put a counter on their Spectre. I think we got him. Using the Royal We, of course. Wow, these fractals are just huge. Big fractal. Opponent would be like, oh man, he's got 5 cards in hand and I only know there's one of them. They've probably got all these spells. Little do they know that I've just naturally drawn all lands while using Quandrix Apprentice. Little do they know that I legitimately could not care less about my hand. It does make my Serpentine Curves. Actually, my Serpentine Curves don't care about exile. Right? Yeah. Just in case. Divide by 0 and then win. Yep. Oh, I do get to order them. Huh. Why was I whining about that? No matter. Boom. Got the win. Let's go. Big win. Into platinum. Awesome stuff. I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to round 2. I'm going to keep this hand on the draw. It's a sketchy hand for sure. No longer so sketchy. Having a 2-drop creature is really nice. I was going to just hold up that to try and counter something. Now I can go attack, and then I can, like, Decisive Denial fight it, maybe. Presumably I'm not going to need lands anymore. So I can just get Elemental Summoning. If I hit a land off this, that is. Never lucky. Worth a shot. Maybe they play around Fortifying Draft. Wow, not hitting a land there is actually kind of a big deal. Yikes. This has Defender, so putting counters on it does nothing. Good draw. Never mind, not a good draw. Okay. Trigger. Hit me a land, baby. Let's go. Yes. I'm actually willing to draw a land, too. I stacked those in the wrong order, though. I should have stacked it the other way. That way I guaranteed that I hit a land off of my Decisive Denial when it triggers, and I actually draw this card. So I messed that up. So yeah, I could have this in my hand and have drawn that. But that's how it goes sometimes. I mess up things. I'm not perfect. It's one of those things that the Quandrix Apprentice makes things a little bit different than you normally would. Normally that wouldn't matter. But Quandrix Apprentice makes that a different play. I'm playing around Reject here. Not because there's like no reason not to play the land first. Okay, now I can play Snow Day, and they're just holding everything up. Very interesting. Wow. Okay, they're gonna fight it. Weird. Definitely want to hold a land to discard with Snow Day. I'm going to get back Decisive Denial, I think. Give myself a fight spell. And a 2-1 attacker. Decisive Denial is my only real interaction, so I think that'll be good. Sure. Sure. So I could do this pre-combat. And that way I tap down their guys, I get to attack them twice. If I do that on their turn, they miss out on 2 attack steps, though. I will play the land, hit them for 2, and then do this on their upkeep. I think stopping 2 of their attacks is better. Are they going to sacrifice it? Wow. That's huge. And I can hold up this and then play Growth Spiral if they don't do anything. Wow. I'm going to bounce my own Biblioplex Assistant so I can get back Snow Day. Because I need to get these things bigger than 6/6. Oh my gosh, it works out perfectly. I was planning on doing it anyway. Nice. So I could get that. Yeah, I'm going to get that. Yeah, I'll just play this, and these things will be big next turn. Oh, and I'm drawing that guy? Okay, that's good. I don't want to cast this Decisive Denial if I can help it then. Though I don't want to accidentally deck myself, but I think it should be fine. So I can play this. How much mana do I have? Do I have enough to go 12 mana worth of spells this turn? No, I only have 11. Tough. Play this before I get my Snow Day back. I'm going to hold this up because I don't want them to be able to... Okay, well... That's tough. I don't see why it doesn't let me stack my deck, but... I did that, but now they can sack this to get a Fractal of their own, but it's only going to be a 7/7. Okay. They're not getting burying books, so that's nice. Okay, I really do want to draw that charge through, so I am going to just do this ordering. Kind of want to scry this land away. Oh no, it's 3 lands in a row. Gosh darn it. So I draw a card, then I cast a spell. This is 3. Then I can draw the Arcane Subtraction. Wow. Feels like this has been a dumpstering almost. What are they going to get? Oh. LOL. There's more where that came from, buddy. So now that means I can guarantee draw Abundant Harvest. Trigger Quandrix first, because that way I hit this forest. Then I can play this. It's a non-land. Trigger to draw my Witherbloom. Definitely want to draw Snow Day first. Got him. That worked out pretty well, I'll say. Felt pretty good. I kept a sketchy hand and it worked out, so don't want to forget that aspect of it where my hand really needed something to take it to the next level, and then I drew the Quandrix Apprentice. Oh my gosh. I like their username a lot. That's funny. Ooh, Growth Spiral into Archmage. I like it. I don't have an island, but you know. Just in the heart of the cards, as they say sometimes. I have 9 blue sources. I can also just play this Quandrix Pledge Mage. And mulliganing is really bad, as always, so gonna keep it. That's not the land I wanted to see them play, but, you know. If I draw an island, it's still winnable. Wrong color, but, you know. Sometimes it happens like that. So they either just drew Killian, or they have a protection spell of some kind for him. They don't have Lash of Malice. I think this is going to be a game that I lose. I needed to draw an island to get that growth spiral going. Though if I draw an island next turn, and then I can growth spiral into another island, they then go growth spiral, divide by 0, then Leyline Invocation, turn early. Anything is possible. I just really need to be able to cast a spell this coming turn. Wow, they don't make me sack my guy. That's wild. I am the greatest. Gift of all. I'm going to totally block here. Totally blocking. Only a few turns too late. This would be one of the greatest comebacks I've ever made if I won it. I could go divide by 0 into environmental sciences to get another island. And I would gain 2 life from the Witherbloom Pledge Mage plus 2 life from the environmental sciences. In a shocking turn of events, not drawing my second color and casting only 1 spell in the entire game functionally lost me the game. I am so surprised. And devastated, clearly. I don't know if my psyche will ever recover from the shame. Oh, grievous fortune. Perchance to dream. Oh well. That happens. You can't win them all. I think keeping the sketchy hands works out more than you would think. And that hand did have 1 spell to play and a fairly high upside. Whiz Kid. Woohoo! Both colors. Let's go. Lost the die roll, though. So there's always something to complain about. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop with 2 of my best cards. Still can complain about losing the die roll. That's the dream. Drawing 2 lands, not ideal. Quandrix Apprentice is going to make sure that I always have lands, probably. Yeah. If I'd known I was drawing that, I probably wouldn't have done that. Hopefully I at least disrupt... I have enough lands that I don't need the Apprentice, and this maybe disrupted their stratagem. This is where you just hope they don't have removal. And if they do, you cry slightly, but... yeah, that's how it goes. I think I have to cast a spell that turn. This is going to be a tough one to win. If I can use this Arcane Subtraction to get a card's worth of value, then I can get back in it, though. Honor Troll, sure. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. This will get 2 more cards into the graveyard for the Serpentine Curve. Okay. They should have attacked with Dina, then this thing would have gotten +2/+1. That's a good draw. Oh my gosh. And the rest go to the graveyard? Well, I'm definitely taking this. And now I have Divide by 0, which can bounce Dina. Or something else if they do not hold up a mana. Tilt. So much rage in my system on that one. Holy heck. Their last 2 cards were so good. Maybe I was supposed to wait on the Archmage. The thing is if I don't do the... Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Why? The pain. I really want to kill this guy. Nope, couldn't stop him. I wanted to stop on their upkeep as soon as I realized they kept the card on top. I think I'm just dead. I'm hoping they get, yeah, it literally doesn't matter what they get. I'm pretty much just dead. No, I needed to respond to that trigger. Yeah, I blew it. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I should have done that on their end step. I tried to stop on their upkeep to kill one of their guys before they could cast their spells for the turn. But I messed it up and did not stop in time. My best hope is that they attack all out. I think I need to draw Snow Day. This whole game hasn't gone particularly well. They just had the answer for all my cards. Wow. Trading a 3/4 for a... Yep, he loses. Oh, gosh. They might not attack all out, though. It does not look great for them if I have anything. Wow. I can't believe they went for it. I can believe that they went for it, but... Wow. They must have drawn something. Just brutal. Imagine if I had drawn something. Or imagine if I'd killed the Dino when I wanted to. Then I could have just been chilling. That's brutal. Ugh. Classic. It's tough to stop them on their upkeep. I think it like just automatically... Yeah, I wanted to stop them before they got stuff going. But then I also could have stopped before they cast their second spell. That was just a lot of triggers, and I messed it up. And I feel really bad about it. Because I could have won that game. In numerous ways. But mostly by just like killing their guy on their upkeep. Or killing it in response to the first spell. I was hoping they were going to get 2 counters on for their guy, but... Yeah, that was a really bad feeling. Oh, if I'd won the die roll, I would have won that game too, I think. Where they wouldn't have been able to have everything going. Growth Spiral into Cultivator. Pretty disappointed. Could have maybe squeezed an attack in, but it would have been risky. Honestly, killing either of these creatures would probably be worth a 6/6, because this thing's going to get huge over the course of the game. Let me kill this thing. This thing doesn't grow, and it has to die for its thing to happen. It's just harder to use. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's gotta be the most tilting outcome possible. Trigger, trigger, trigger. If the Archmage stays around, they're just going to lose. If the Quandrix stays around, they're probably going to lose. The Quandrix Pledge Mage, that is. Okay, well, I've gotten rid of that annoying trigger. So I can play this into Cram Session into Environmental Sciences. And then I can just discard a land to hand size. I only have 4 lands left in the deck. Okay, so now I have Negate. That's really good. I'm just going to hold back. I don't know why they wouldn't cast their stuff. Trigger, 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 trigger. All the triggers. And this Serpentine Curve is, of course, getting even scarier. Trigger, 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 trigger. Oh my gosh. Trigger, 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 trigger. I don't want to deck myself. Perfect. Thank God that guy's out of the picture. I think they're dead next turn. Or I'd like to assume they're dead next turn. I have divide by 0 into experimental, not experimental, into the +2/+1/+1 counters for my Frost Trickster. And that'll leave me with 3 cards in deck still.
If the Prismari want refinement, I'll impress with... You need to sit this one out.
This guy sounds like Jack Hanna, not Jack, John Hanna, the guy that's in 3 Weddings and a Funeral. Okay. Got them. Wow, that was satisfying. Even though I spent the first half of the game enraged, I was like, oh my gosh, everything's going sideways. But I recovered, mentally and spiritually and physically. I was still enraged about the last game before that, where I had lost for no reason at all. And the round, I guess, before that, where I did not hit my colors. But, well, this is another good hand. I have decent opening hands, and then I just can't win a die roll to save my life. The gate could be good here. Looks like they're missing a land drop. That could be costly for them. Aw, man, they found it. Sad day. I don't like this guy. He's kind of annoying. I mean, I like the card. I just... Okie doke. We'll target this guy. Oh, that's a good card to draw. Let's get our Intro to Prophecy. We'll get that so we can stop the Needlethorn Drake. Overall, looking good. We have 8 power in play. I'm probably going to cast this and this. Curses. You hate to see it. Okay, so I'm drawing a massive serpentine curve next turn. That's good. No, another Needlethorn, though Frost Trickster's good against that. Dang it. That's good. I can Frost Trickster this thing down. Ooh. Wow, I go through this deck quickly. I just, like, zoom through it. It's like, vroom, vroom. 10 cards left, and they have, like, 20 or something. 24, and I have 11. Quandrix Apprentice in the opening hand has been very good. I keep drawing that card. I guess I can't complain about anything. Though, to be fair, yeah, I probably should. I don't really ever. When I complain, I'm mostly joking. So, like, most of the time, I'm just kidding around. They didn't hit their 5th land drop. I've got, like, 10 lands in play. And 6 cards in hand. Looking good. Looks like they might be rage roping. Yikes. Serpentine Curve as a 4 mana 11/11, no big deal. Absolutely sweet card. This is the best Serpentine Curve deck I've drafted. Oh, they're just rage roping. The pain. The pain and agony. Feels bad, man. Sometimes you win games like this, sometimes you lose games like this. It's important to remember when you lose a game like this that you win games like this. So, like, the game where I didn't draw any forests, where I only drew forests, I then win a game like this where they don't really get to play. So I probably would have won this game even if they had a real hand. So... just go for it with the decisive denial. They can't have anything that impacts me. Yay, another win. How many wins is this? 4 or 3? I think it's 4. Whew. Yes, it is. I'm hoping to get to 5. Because 5 and 3 is like a pretty solid performance. I mean, 4 and 3, anything above 50-50 is pretty solid, but 5 and 3 is like a solid performance for me. Well, Abundant Harvest can name land. I still haven't won a die roll this century. I'm definitely going to just Abundant Harvest to look for a forest. An island. You're kidding. You've got to be kidding. I'm just never going to draw an island, am I? Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. This is just my nightmare. Oh my gosh. It's so winnable. It's so winnable. Oh my gosh. I'm just dead. I'm sure they just cast like an enthusiastic study on this guy and I lose. There's an island. Is it enough? Double strike is so annoying. So I get an island and then play Frost Trickster. Then next turn I can Snow Day. I'm just probably dead. So I'm taking 4 from this guy. At least. And they're putting 2 counters on it. So I'm taking 8 from this guy. And then 4 from these guys. Just rough. So I have to have them have like basically nothing in their hand. Now I draw all my land that I need the islands. Dang it. I think this loss and the first loss that I had were unavoidable, and then the second loss that I had, I could have maybe won. Owl and Shield Mage. You hate to see it, because I can't target it. Ooh, that was a decent draw. I could have played a tap land this turn. Yikes. Just have to hope that they continue to whiff forever. Yep. Dang it. That's tough. That's tough. This deck definitely could have done better than that. It just faltered when I needed it to. I also don't think I won a die roll, to be fair. So that was bad. I think all the games I lost were in games I lost the die roll. Yikes. 4 and 3. That's a pretty poor performance for this deck, I think. I think it definitely could have gotten more. I could have won one of those games I lost, and then if I just drawn my both colors more often. Pretty frustrating, but you know, we got to do some cool stuff. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and leave a comment with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Leave big snakes I guess big fractals, but big snakes because we had a lot of serpentine curves doing a lot of good stuff. So let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. And as always, if you want to find more of my stuff, you can find that in the description down below. That's going to do it, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.